Hey guys, have you ever been told that your blood work is borderline or within normal range, but you don't feel normal? You feel tired, inflamed, foggy. You're gaining weight and your body is not responding to diet or exercise the way it used to or the way it should. Your energy is unreliable and something feels off in a way you can't fully articulate. If you are navigating perimenopause, menopause, or postmenopause, those symptoms you're experiencing are not uncommon. And the likely clinical explanation is a multifaceted condition called menopause-related metabolic dysfunction. And today, I'm going to help you understand what metabolic dysfunction is, what it looks and feels like in our bodies, and why recognizing it early changes everything. Now stay with me to the end because I'm going to show you the pattern most women miss when a few small changes start adding up to something you don't want to ignore. Let's get into it. Hi, I'm Cathy Bracken and welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, welcome. I appreciate each and every one of you taking time to drop by and hang out with me for a bit. Don't forget to subscribe, tap that notification bell, and give the video a thumbs up. Your support this way allows me to continue creating my unique brand of self-improvement content aimed at educating, empowering, and inspiring positive transformation in you, the viewer. Now, this is video 5 in our Menopause and Metabolic Health series. In video 3, we talked about belly fat, the visible, frustrating evidence that your metabolic environment changed with menopause. In video 4, we covered brain fog, the cognitive experience of a brain navigating hormonal change. And today we're going deeper because beneath the belly fat and the brain fog is a cluster of biological changes that can be happening in your body quietly, incrementally, and in ways that define what we call metabolic dysfunction. And most women don't even know they have it until it's progressed significantly. Today's video is about changing that. And as always, I am only here to educate, not to replace your healthcare provider. What I want to give you today is the knowledge to walk into your next appointment and have a more informed, a more productive conversation with your doctor. Now let's start with a clear definition because this term gets used loosely and you deserve precision. Metabolic dysfunction is not a single condition. It is a cluster of interrelated biological disruptions that impair your body's ability to regulate energy, blood sugar, inflammation, and fat storage. In the context of menopause, the root cause is well established. Estrogen decline disrupts the hormonal regulation of your metabolism. That disruption triggers a cascade, and the cascade involves 4 interconnected mechanisms. The first is declining insulin sensitivity. As estrogen declines, your cells become less efficient at responding to insulin, which means blood sugar regulation becomes less efficient and fat storage increases. The second is central fat redistribution. As we covered in video 3, fat storage shifts from peripheral areas to visceral areas around the internal organs. Visceral fat is metabolically active. It produces inflammatory compounds and further drives insulin resistance. The third is chronic low-grade inflammation. Visceral fat and estrogen decline both promote an inflammatory state in the body. Chronic inflammation impairs insulin function and damages blood vessels. The fourth is dysregulated blood sugar. As insulin sensitivity declines and inflammation increases in the body's ability to maintain stable blood sugar becomes progressively impaired. These 4 mechanisms do not operate independently. They form a cycle of sorts, each one amplifying the other, and together they are the foundation of menopause-related metabolic dysfunction. So what does menopause-related metabolic dysfunction look like? Because metabolic dysfunction has a recognizable symptom profile, and knowing what it looks like means you can bring a specific informed picture to your doctor rather than just a vague sense that something is wrong. Here's what metabolic dysfunction in the context of menopause can look and feel like. The first symptom cluster is energy dysregulation, fatigue that doesn't resolve itself with adequate sleep, energy crashes, particularly in the mid-afternoon, a sense of heaviness and exhaustion that feels cellular rather than situational. The second is blood sugar instability, intense carbohydrate cravings, especially for simple carbs and sweets, shakiness, irritability, or difficulty concentrating when meals are delayed, energy spikes followed by significant crashes after eating, These are the signals of a blood sugar regulation system that is no longer functioning smoothly. The third is abdominal weight gain that is unresponsive to effort, centrally located, disproportionate, and resistant to the caloric restriction and exercise approaches that used to work. This is both the most visible and one of the most clinically significant symptoms. The fourth is cognitive symptoms, brain fog, difficulty concentrating, poor memory retention. As we covered in video 4, the brain is glucose dependent. When blood sugar regulation is disrupted, cognitive function is directly affected. Metabolic dysfunction compounds the estrogen-driven brain fog we already discussed. The fifth is blood work that looks almost normal. Fasting blood sugar that is borderline elevated, technically within range but trending upward. Triglycerides higher than they used to be, HDL cholesterol lower, blood pressure that is creeping up. These are the early metabolic signals that standard blood work may flag mildly, but that taken together tell a different story. None of these symptoms alone are a diagnosis of metabolic dysfunction, but a pattern, especially one developing in the context of the menopause transition, is worth taking to your healthcare provider for evaluation. And telling your doctor, I have these 5 symptoms and I believe they're connected, is a much more productive conversation than, I just don't feel right. Now, before we keep going, I have a free resource for you. It was created specifically for this series, and it's called the Menopause Health Starter Kit. It includes a personal metabolic health audit, an HRT, and GLP-1 appointment guide with the exact questions you need to bring to your doctor to get a serious conversation started about your clinical options and treatments during menopause. You'll find the link in the description below. You can download it for free. It is my gift to you. Now, I want to talk about what happens when these metabolic changes come together as a diagnosis, because this is something every woman in the menopause continuum deserves to understand. The clinical condition is called metabolic syndrome, and it means you have 3 or more of 5 specific signs or markers. Those markers are a larger waist, higher blood sugar, higher blood pressure, high triglycerides, and low HDL, which is the good cholesterol. For women, the numbers are a waist over 35 inches, fasting blood sugar of 100 or more, blood pressure of 130 over 85 or more, triglycerides of 150 or more, and an HDL under 50. If you have 3 of those 5, that meets the diagnosis standard. And this matters in menopause because postmenopausal women tend to have higher rates of metabolic syndrome than women who haven't gone through menopause yet. The hormone shift is a big part of that. Now, why does this matter? Because it raises the risk for type 2 diabetes, heart disease, and fatty liver disease. And when you know your numbers, you can take smart, targeted action with your healthcare provider. Now, let's talk about what to do. The first step is to ask your healthcare provider for a metabolic evaluation, not just standard blood work, but a full metabolic picture. That includes fasting blood sugar, A1C, fasting insulin, a complete lipid panel, blood pressure assessment, and waist circumference measurement. If you have not had these tests recently, start that conversation with your doctor and ask to get them done. The second step is to prioritize the lifestyle practices we covered in video 3, resistance training, adequate protein, blood sugar conscious eating, and sleep. These are the foundational habits that directly support every mechanism we covered today. And the third step, if lifestyle changes are not producing adequate results, is to know that clinical options exist. And we'll be covering 2 of the most popular ones in our upcoming videos. Video 6 will cover GLP-1 therapy, and video 7 will cover hormone replacement therapy. Both of these have a direct, clinically documented impact on menopause-related metabolic dysfunction. The smart move here is not to wait until a diagnosis forces the conversation. It is to understand your metabolic picture right now while you still have the most options available. Now, don't forget to grab your Menopause Health Starter Kit, subscribe, tap the notification bell, and share this video with someone you think will greatly benefit from this information. I'm Cathy Bracken, and I'll see you in the next video. Until next time, make today amazing and be well.